What's up, tribe? How you guys doing today? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is gonna be your review of Pose season 1, episode 5. I believe we're on 4, 5. Um, this was an action-packed episode. I call this. They call it fever. I'm gonna call it the body episode because I feel like a major theme of this episode was the two themes, the fever theme, which was important, and then the body theme, because a few of the characters in this episode are dealing with the body issue and being happy with in your body. So y'all know each episode, and the thing is, let me just full disclosure. This is late because I had to watch the episode twice because there was a thunderstorm that came through, and so it didn't catch all of it the first episode, so I had to wait for it to come on again. Watch it again, catch the scenes I missed. Make sure I didn't miss nothing important. So we start off with a ball. There's always a ball at the beginning of every episode. And the category, I don't have my notes in front of me, but the category was a body category. It was not a face category. And Candy is she's in the house of abundance with Electra, and she decides that she wants to walk in this particular category. And Electra's a bitch, but in this particular episode, you may not always like her delivery, but what she said was right. She told her not to walk. She said, "Look, stay in your lane. You do face. You have face. You win trophies for face. You do not have the body. They're going to tear your ass up. They're going to chew you up and spit you out." And she was like, "Why you always got to put me down? Why can't you encourage me?" She's like, "I'm not going to encourage you to go out here and make a fool of yourself and me. Because if you embarrass yourself, you embarrass me. You embarrass the house. And so, no, I'm not going to encourage that." So, of course, just like a child, she huffs and puffs and she goes and she walks and she gets red down. I mean, pray tell gives it to her, honey. And he told her the same thing. He was like, "Boo, maybe you didn't hear me correctly. This isn't a face walk. This is a body walk, and this ain't your lane." And, because she doesn't have a big chest and she's not really curvy and all of that. And Angel is there. Angel sees the whole thing. And her name is Candy, the young lady. And she runs out, she's embarrassed and upset, and she ends up running out. And Angel goes after her. Remember, they used to be in the same house, so they know each other. And she's nasty to Angel. "Don't come out here with your sympathy. I don't need your sympathy. I don't need you feeling sorry for me." Angel was like, "Look, girl, you don't see nobody else running after you, right? Like, you need to be nice to me. Stop being a bitch." And they get to talking, and they get to talking about the body issues. And Candy tells Angel, she was like, "Look, you one of the few people at this ball that nobody would question whether you're a man or a woman. And you have curves. You have, you have all of that. I don't. And, you don't know how it feels to just feel like you're not a complete woman, and so she tells her the story about, some of her insecurities. They do a flashback scene to her with her sugar daddy, right? With Angel and her sugar daddy. And she was like, "Girl, your problems ain't my problems. Like, we don't have the same problems." Angel was like, "Yeah, we do." She said, "But I tell you what, I know somebody that can hook us up." So they end up going to this doctor who she she's not as expensive as the doctors uptown, but she still has a little price tag on her because she gets the good silicone, and she actually was trained by an actual doctor who does the plastic surgery to all the rich women uptown, right? So she charges not as much as the doctor uptown, but certainly more than little basement doctor. And when she says her price, Candy sort of hesitates, like, whoo, because she says $1,000, and Candy's like, "Whoa, I don't pump your brakes. I don't really have $1,000." And Angel was ready to rock and roll. Angel was ready to go, and so they leave, and they leave. So then you see Candy decides to put on artificial padding, right? She puts on a little butt pad and uses the old sock trick to push the breasts together, make them look fuller. And she decides she's gonna walk in a body category. And Electra tells her again, "No, you won't. You already went out there once and you made a fool of your damn self, and you're going to go out there and do it again. She was like, and if you go out there and you insist on walking, you will not do it under the house of abundance. You're out. Well, y'all know she went out there and did it anyway. Honey, they read her ass again because now they know it's fake. Because it's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be body. And they know that she's got padding and she's got tricks. They see it a mile, and Electra told her they're going to see it coming a mile away. They're going to know it's fake. And of course, the judges, oh my God, the lowest score you can get is a 6. And that's what the judges give her. They give her a 6 across the board. And of course, Pray Tell reads her ass down again. She didn't take the socks out her breast and throw them at Pray Tell. Because Pray Tell stops the whole damn ball to read her ass. You know what I'm saying? And that was it for her. That made up her mind. She was like, I'm going to get this done. So she ends up finding a little back alley doctor who does it a lot cheaper. And she takes Angel with her. And the difference is night and day. You know what I mean? Like, even just they in this little danky little room in the basement, and the woman look a hot mess that's doing a procedure. And Angel says to her, well, how can you afford to do this cheaper than what the other doctor's name was, Clarissa? She said, because Clarissa gets her silicone from her uptown doctor. I go to Honduras and get mine for a lot cheaper. And Angel was like, is it the same silicone though? And she said, well, it's almost the same. I add a little something to it. So Candy says she gonna get it done. She asked Angel, you want to go? Angel was like, nah, I'm a pass. Because Angel ain't feeling it. And Angel knows that this ain't it. So, I'm sorry. When Candy got done walking and getting read by Pray Tell, electrified, she said, look, that's it. You are out. I told you if you did it, you was going to be gone, and you are gone. So, she's no longer in the house of abundance. And I thought she was going to end up with Blanca, but that's not how it ends up working. Alright, so that's going on. Then we have, so Candy, that's one of the body issues, right? Angel, that's another body issue. Angel ends up going back to Clarissa and getting it done. But she goes back to Clarissa to get it done. So we'll see how that plays out for her. Candy goes, and like I said, Candy goes and gets the procedure done, the little back alley procedure. She comes back to walk, right? And this time Pray Tell is like, well, look at the new and improved Candy. And they praise her because they see that it's real. They say, oh, she's gotten some enhancements done, and she ends up walking and winning the category, and then she passes out because the silicone has gotten in her body and has affected her. And she wakes up and she's back at the House of Abundance, and Electa's taking care of her. Electa's like, look, your fever's down thanks to the antibiotics I was able to get for you. And she said, well, you put me out the house. No, she said, I left the house while you're doing this. She said, no, let's get it straight. I fired you, but I didn't mean it. I still love you, blah, blah, blah. And she proceeds to cuss Electra out. And Electra's like, well, look, then get out then. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to be here that bad, then leave. And you see her Candy really have a moment, where she's just like, you just don't understand what it's like to look in the mirror and not be happy with what you see. So we're going to pause there because we're going to get to Electra's story. Actually, we'll go ahead and do Electra's story. Then we'll do Damon. So, Electra does understand because she's dealing with the same issue. Remember, she wants to have the total gender reassignment surgery. She talks to her sugar daddy about it. We meet the sugar daddy this episode, and she talks to him about it. The sugar daddy is Christopher Maloney from Law and Order. Y'all know him when you see him. You'll recognize him. And they have a really blunt conversation. She tells him she wants to do it, and he's like, nah, I don't really want you to do that. And she said, well, you don't really, it's not really my penis really isn't a part of our sex life anyway, so why does it matter? He said, well, first of all, I do that out of respect to you because I know that that's not something you enjoy. You don't enjoy me, touching you or fellatio or anything like that. So I do that out of respect for you. But I like my women having a little something extra. It was like, so, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know what you want to call it, but I like it being in the room. So if you decide to move forward with this surgery, you're gonna have to do it without me because that's not what I want. And Electra's thing is, you gonna kick me to the curb eventually anyway. Like I'm not in denial. I'm not under any false pretense. I am 40 years old and I know that eventually you're going to trade me in for a younger model. And I need to do what makes me happy. And he was like, cool. Do what makes you happy. You just want to do it without me. Like, that'll be the end of us. And the end of this. She living in a he called her penthouse princess. And she said, well, I'll just have to do it on my own. Because she was basically saying, I don't need your money. Because remember, she stole the money from the Salvation Army. And he said, it's not about the money. It's just, that's not something I want you to do. And she said, well, I'll do it on my own. And he was like, well, when is the last time you ever did anything on your own? And y'all know he's throwing that money back at her. And come to find out, they've been together for 10 years. And he was like, when I found you, you was dancing for dollars down at the little club, and I said, I gave you this lifestyle. You've been living pretty ever since. So, like, what's the big deal? If I want you to keep it. So you see the rest of the episode, Electra is really struggling with this because it's the decision between being true to yourself or keeping yourself in a comfortable lifestyle, you know. And it doesn't seem like they see each other on a regular basis, but she just is available when he wants her to be. Come to find out he travels the world and all these other wonderful things, but when he want to see her, then she's supposed to be available. I mean, that's what that's about. That's what that relationship is. So we see Electra walking in a ball. And of course, she's winning. Everybody's loving up on her. And then this other woman comes in, which her name was Aphrodite. And Pray Tell said, oh, we have a new challenger. We have a new woman in the house. A new, girl coming down the runway. And then he looks, he said, oh, wait a minute. She's not new. She has just been, he didn't say enhanced. Maybe he said enhanced. No, because he used enhanced for Candy. But basically he said that, he said you new and improved. He said, where you been, girl? She said, Bangkok. And she ends up winning the category. And you expect Electra to be angry and throw one of her little hissy fits, but she didn't. She ended up inviting the girl to dinner. She said, let me treat you to a cup of coffee. So they go to the coffee house, and she asked her about the surgery because the girl had the gender reassignment surgery. That's what she went down to Bangkok to take care of. So she asked her about it. And this is the first time you really see Electra let somebody in. And I thought it was really curious because the first time I looked at the episode, remember I told you I looked at it twice, this was one of the parts that had kind of cut out. That's another reason why I went back, because I said, maybe I missed something really important. Because I was trying to figure out why this person, out of all the people around her, and none of her children, nobody else, that she kind of opened up to. And she opened up to this woman. I mean, she's crying. She's telling this woman all her business about how the boyfriend don't want her to have the surgery. Like, she is giving her all of it. And the woman tells her, Aphrodite says, look, you have to be true to yourself. She said, I can't describe to you the feeling of looking in the mirror and being happy with what I see. Like, they have a really good conversation, and she tells him point blank, look, she tells her, I'm sorry, point blank, it will, if that's what you want to do, you need to do it. And it's not worth staying in this relationship if you're no longer happy, And Electra says, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have the surgery. I'm going to do it. And the next thing we see her at the doctor's office signing the paperwork, talking to the doctor, asking the questions and everything. And again, she opens up to her doctor and tells the doctor, my man really doesn't want me to do this, And the doctor tells her the same thing. The doctor says, look, I've seen so many people come out of this surgery feeling so completed, feeling like just a complete person and just being, standing in their truth of who they really are. She said, I don't think you'll regret it. And so she decides, she makes a decision that she is going to do it. So that's when you see the scene with her and Candy at the end, and Candy says, you don't get it, you don't understand. And again, she opens up to Candy and she says, no, I do. and she tells her about the surgery and how the guy doesn't want her to have. So like, in one episode, you see Electra really let her guard down on this issue. Now she was still reading, reading people and being Electra, but on this issue, you saw her open up herself and really let you see something different, right? So that was that. Now, the other side, the house of Evangelista was dealing with some shit. Damon is in dance class. He signed up to be in the spring recital. Because remember, we done been through winter. We going into spring now. And his teacher says, look, you've been doing a lot better. I've noticed that you've improved, but I don't know if you are ready for the spring recital. That's mainly for seniors. You're not. You're a first year, and I don't know. And he said, I won't let you down. I can do this. He was even a little arrogant about it. Talking about, I'm better than them. I said, okay, Damon, better watch it, boo. Better watch it. But then we see him get sick. And of course, everybody's first thought is, he gets sick in dance class. He's got a fever. His dance teacher sends him home, and of course, everybody's first thought is, does he have it, right? Because the mid-80s, gay man getting sick. That's the first thought. And of course, Blanca is worried that that's what, and she asked him about Ricky. And you see Damon, again, Damon be very much a 16-year-old boy talking to his mom. I don't want to talk to you about this. Why are we talking about this? You being nosy, you getting in my business about my sex life. And she like, look, have you and Ricky slept together and were y'all safe? Like, that I need to know. And so he tells her, yeah, they're safe, but, one time the condom came off. And he lying because he hesitated when she even asked him. So that they're not regularly practicing safe sex. And he's like, look, I don't feel good. I don't want to talk about this. So he kind of shuts her down. So we see Angel come bring him some soup, and she talks to him, and he asks her, he said, why was she asking me about me and Ricky's sex life? Like, he really wasn't making the connection. And Angel told him, she said, because she's worried about you having the virus. She's worried about you being sick. And he was like, what? Could I be? Like, he is so naive to all of that, because obviously his parents didn't have that conversation with him, so he's probably very limited to what he knows about HIV, to what he's seen on the news or what he's heard on the street. And again, anybody who grew up in that time, we know that there was so much miscommunication, misinformation that was out there about HIV, how you can catch it, who can catch it, when you can catch it, whether you can get it. I mean, it was just so much out there, so it never occurred to him, and he's so naive about it. But then you see him starting to worry, right? So Blanca overhears a conversation because Ricky comes to check on Damon, and Damon goes off on him, and he's like, do you have it? How many men have you slept with? Like, and Blanca's overhearing this conversation, and Ricky's like, well, no, I've never been tested, but I don't think I have it, because if you sick, I'd be sick by now, so I don't think I have anything. And no, I don't get tested because I don't want to know. I'm good, and he said, but you can only get it if you receive, and I've only been a bottom like twice, so I'm good. Like, and Blanca is like, oh my God, like, they don't know anything. So she goes to Pray Tell to talk to him, and Pray Tell is like, look, they're naive, they don't know. You just gotta be the mama, and you just gotta tell them what's going on, but don't stress out, don't overreact, and come to find out, Pray Tell has stopped getting tested. He said, look, I used to get tested every month, but at this point, I done seen so many, so many people come and go, so many men that I've dated, so many friends that I've known. He said, and now the medicine is making people sicker than the actual viruses, because those were in the early days of AZT. And Blanca is like, look, you can't live like that. Like, you have to at least know. Like, it's not going to change anything, but you have to know what's going on. You have to know whether you have it or not. So Pray Tell agrees to take all of the guys to go get tested, and he's going to get tested with them. So you see them all go to the clinic, and they get the test. And back then, the test took like 2 weeks to come back. So you just have to like live in limbo for the 2 weeks that you're waiting to find out if you have it. So it's Poppy, Pray Tell, Ricky, and Damon. So they all get tested. Comes back, all of them are clean. Because, oh, they have the conversation. First, Praytel talks to them. And he sort of tries to dispel all the different rumors of what they think they know about HIV and stuff. And, Poppy is mainly with women, but he says, look, when times get hard, I'm out there on the street. Like, I'm an equal opportunity lovers, if you got the money kind of situation. And so, they go get tested and come to find out everybody's clean except Praytel. Praytel is HIV positive. And so you see him deal with it because, of course, up until now, he's been dealing with other people. And he lied at first and said he came back clean. But then he confesses to Blanca that he lied and that he really was HIV positive. And Blanca is like, they process as friends. Because remember, when she found out, the first person she went to was him. So they processed together as friends. And, she's like, why would you lie to me? And he said, look, because I see my future. I'm just going to be laid up in the hospital room dying and the nurse scared to bring me my lunch. He was like, I've seen it. We've all seen it. And it's just scary. It's scary. But they process and they do what friends do, right? They do what friends do. There's a scene, I told y'all Angel ended up getting the shots and everything. But there is a scene with Angel and the boyfriend where, they kind of get into a little bit of an argument because she's talking to him about... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, right back. My bad. I'm back. So they get into this argument because Angel is tripping. She's in her own head because, again, remember, she's dealing with her body issue too. And she feels like she's not woman enough for him. And he's like, what is wrong with you? Like, we're good. Like, why are you tripping all of a sudden? So you see that she's still dealing with her own body issues, her own hang-ups. And like I said, eventually, and at the end of the episode, you see that she does end up getting the silicone. So we end the episode on a good note. Like I said, Damon come to find out Damon doesn't have it. Ricky doesn't have it, and they vow they ain't gonna never have unprotected sex ever again. Poppy's clean, but like I said, Praytel does. So they end the episode with everybody going to see Damon's dance recital. And Damon even ends up with a solo honey. And he was sick. He only had the flu. That's what it was. It was just the flu. And that's how it ended. It was a really great, great ending. You see Blanca is just a proud mother. She's a proud mother seeing her son on that stage. And her and the instructor, they have that silent, and Blanca says thank you. And she just sort of nods. So it was a great ending. It was a whirlwind of an episode. Like I said, you see different characters dealing with these many layered issues of being, in the LGBTQ life, And again, it's so much to be learned. Even though it's set in an older era, in the 1980s, these issues are still going on. I mean, look at all the women now getting all these butt implants and breast implants and going to these illegal doctors to get it done and going to these back alleys and getting sick and even dying. I mean, people are putting Fix-A-Flat in their bodies because they're not happy what they see or they're trying to get an image of what's on TV, right? So it was good. It was a great episode. It was crazy because I had to watch it twice, but y'all tell me what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.